Hi, good day everyone. I'm CASTROMAYOR, and today I will discuss about the road safety manual by parking and lighting. So first, I will discuss the parking. Parking is the act of a person or thing that parks, especially a vehicle. There are 8 parking basics. What are those? First, obey parking signs. When you see the sign that no parking, which means that you should not park within that area because that is illegal. Park only where it is legal. Number 2, park away from traffic. When you're parking along a roadway, park as far from traffic as possible. For example, here in Davao City, in Magallanes, so the vehicle is so very hectic. So, marami talaga sila. So, kung gusto mong mag-park within that area, make sure that you are far from the traffic as possible. For example, na i-park doon is sa gilid ng City Hall. Number 3, paddle the curb, which means that when there is a curb, park as close to it as possible. Center by center. So, dapat nasa loob ka talaga ng curb na yan. Number 4, use only one space. When you park inside the lines, make sure that you should use only the one space. At least para yung iba is makagamit sa ibang space na mapaparkingan. Number 5, check your gear. Before you exiting, ensure that your car is in the right gear. Kasi mas madalas dito na maraming incidents. For example here that when your car is automatic, leave it in park with the emergency brake on, particularly if parked on a hill. Alright. So if your car is manual, put it in reverse if the car is facing downhill. First gear naman if facing uphill. Number 7, note your location. For example here, kung pupunta ka sa mall, dapat i-make sure mo kung saan ka nakapark. At least you may remember at hindi ka malito kung saan. Meron man yan nakasign na Park 1, Park 2, or P1, P2, P3, P4, etc. So, dapat alam mo kung saan ka nakapark at least for less time ni mo nga ma-consume. Number 8, lastly, remember your backup plan. So, there are more vehicle collisions here sa maraming deaths, maraming injuries within the year tungod sa backing up nimo sa sakyanan. Nagikan ka sa traffic. Alright, your first talaga is fasten your seatbelt before you leave, and then dapat alam mo kung saan ka nakapark, dapat tama yung nakapark mo. At least yung palabasan mo is tama rin. Then kung meron man mag-guide sa iyo or yung mga bata, mas mabuti na meron talaga mag-guide sa iyo palabas sa parking lot. So that are the 8 parking basics. No parking. Ito yung bawal mag-park sa isang lugar. First one is no parking. When you see the sign that no parking, which means na bawal talaga dyan mag-park kasi matikitan ka dahil illegal yan. So mag-park ka lang doon sa legal or merong nakasign na parking. Next is double parking. Double parking, ito yung nag-park ka sa isang lugar at nakakos ka ng traffic. So tawag dyan is double parking at matikitan ka niyan. Number 3, reserve people with disabilities. Kapag nakita ka dito na ganyan ang mga signs sa mga park, so which means kung hindi ka disabled, so dapat alam mo kung saan ka nakalugar. Alam mo kung saan mo ipapark yung sasakyan mo. Next is crosswalks or sidewalks. Ito yung hindi talaga pwede mag-park kasi makakos ka ng traffic or makakos ka rin ng mga collisions or mga accidents dira. At makaano ka talaga, makasagabal ka sa mga tao kasi daanan yun ng mga tao, yung crosswalks or sidewalks. Next one is next to curbs that are painted yellow or red. So, ito, dapat alam mo kung saan ka nakapark, yellow ba or red. So, malalaman natin yan sa next slide ko about the color of curbs. Travel lane. So, bawal ka magparking sa travel lane. Next is you block or create a hazard. So, bawal ka talaga magparking when you see na makasagabal ka sa mga ibang sasakyan or makablock ka or makakreate ka rin ng hazard. Next is within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. Within 15 feet rin sa intersection. Within 15 feet of the entrance of a fire, ambulance, or rescue station. Within 500 feet of where fire trucks or equipments are stopped while answering an alarm. The last one is within 50 feet of a railroad crossing. So that is no parking. Next is curb colors. What they mean? Yung mga colors. White, stop only long enough to pick up or drop off passengers. Yellow naman, stop only long enough to load or unload your car. Stay with your car. Next is red. Do not stop, stand, or park. Ito yung bawal. Kasi makamulta ka. Blue naman sa mga parking is reserved for persons with disabilities sa mga PWD. Alright, that is the curb colors. Next is how to park. Number 1, perpendicular parking, pulling in. Pulling in yung papasulod. Position your vehicle 5 to 6 feet away from space. Then, move forward until your body is aligned with the first pavement line. So, makita mo yan siya sa picture. Then, turn the wheel rapidly left. Kung depende ka kung saan ka mag-park, sa left ba or sa right, controlling your speed. Dapat hinahinay lang pasunod, baka maka-bump ka sa ibang bumper ng mga vehicle. Next, steer toward an imaginary target. So, make sure na center yung imaginary target mo in the center of the space and strengthen your wheels. Alright. So, dapat yung wheels mo strengthen Japan siya straight. Then, last is position your front bumper 3 to 6 inches from the curb or end of the space. 3 to 6 inches, hindi mo sabi na lagpas kasi 3 to 6 inches. Okay? Number 2, perpendicular parking, backing out. Backing out pag exit. Place your foot on the brake, then signal your intention. So, mag-signal ka. Next is shift to reverse and look over your shoulder through your rear window. Magtingin ka sa mirror mo side by side kung meron bang dumadaan. Then back up until your windshield is even with the bumper of the vehicle located next to you on the side closest to the direction where you want to go. And begin turning the steering wheel in the direction you want to go. Kung gusto mo sa right ka or sa left ka, saan ka pupunta din, monitor your front bumper on the opposite side of the direction you are turning. So, make sure na hindi ka makabangga sa ibang nakaparking. Stop when your front bumper clears the back up of a vehicle by several feet. Then, shift into drive and proceed into traffic. Number 3, angle parking, pulling in. Yung angle or naka-angle parking siya. Alright, signal your intention and position your vehicle 3 to 4 feet from the space in which you plan to park. Move forward until your steering wheel is aligned with the first pavement line. So, make sure talaga na naka-align yung sa first pavement line, then visually locate the middle of the parking space and turn the wheel sharply at a slow. Control the speed. So, yan yung importante, you control the speed kapag mag-park ka. Hinahinay lang. Then, steer toward the center of the space. Rather, straighten your wheels and stop when your front bumper is 3 to 6 inches from the curb or end of the space. Number 4, angle parking backing out. Paglabas, pag-exit. Place your foot on the brake, then signal your intention. So, make sure na makasignal ka talaga. Then, shift into reverse and can your path of travel. Backing up until your vehicle front seat is even with the bumper of the vehicle on the turning side and begin turning the steering wheel in the direction you want the road to go. Then, monitor your front bumper on the opposite side of the direction in which you are turning. When your front bumper clears the back of the vehicle by several feet, then stop. Shift into drive and proceed into traffic. 5. The S method of parallel parking. Pull up parallel to the car in front of you 2 to 3 feet from it, then shift into reverse. Next one is check traffic and path of travel and back slowly, steering all the way to the left or right as appropriate. Then stop when the steering wheel is in a line with the rear bumper and your car is at a 45-degree angle. Then turn your wheels all the way in the opposite direction and back up slowly. Make sure you glance quickly at the front and the rear of your vehicle until you straighten the wheels. Then center the vehicle into the space. Your wheels should be 6 to 12 inches from the curb. Alright, then 6. Exiting a parallel spot. Back up straight as far as you can without touching the bumper of the car behind you. Then, check traffic, signal your intention, and shift into drive. Then, turn your wheels all the way to the left and move forward slowly. Begin straighten your wheels when your front seat is even with the back of the bumper of the car in front of you. Then focus on the tourniquet in the center of your path of travel and proceed into traffic. Reverse or back in angle parking. It's easier than parallel parking, and studies show it's also safer because drivers have better visibility when they exit the spot. Car trunks and against the curb, so it's safer for loading and unloading, and car doors open in such a way that children naturally move toward the sidewalk instead of the street. There are 3-step process. First one, signal a right turn to warn other drivers. Pull past the parking spot and stop. Reverse into the parking spot. There are 7 ways to avoid getting a parking ticket. First, pay the meter. So, for example, here is ikaw nagpark ka sa isang parkingan na bawal kasi nakalagay na no parking. Then, sabi mo sa sarili mo is 1 minute lang ako dito or madali lang ako dito. So, hindi mo alam na meron palang nagbabantay. So, nilagyan ka talaga niya ng ticket. So, ang gawin mo dito is just pay. Next one is pay by phone. So, ngayon, high-tech naman tayo. So, ang ibang drivers is nagpa-process na lang sa kanilang mga ticket sa transaction na lang through phone. Next, stash quarters. Though, many cities are adopting high-tech ways to finding and paying for parking easier. Keeping a roll of quarters in your glove compartment is a good idea. Next is garage it. So, kung malapit lang naman yung pupuntahan mo, mas mabuti na lang na i-park mo na lang yung sasakyan mo at maglakad ka or kung sakay ka na lang ng ibang sasakyan, at least maka-avoid ka sa ticket. Next is use public transportation. So, alright, ito yung hindi ka talaga matikitan kasi magsakay ka dito sa ating public transportation like jeep or bus. Then next is look around. Before leaving your vehicle, dapat make sure mo na wala naka-sign na no parking. Dapat you make sure that you are not blocking a fire hydrant. Kasi, matitikitan ka rin dito eh. Dapat 15 feet yung layo mo doon sa fire hydrant. Yung diniscuss ko kanina. The last one is appeal. Most municipal parking authorities have a process that allows citizens to appeal parking tickets. And that is the last topic of roadway safety manual by parking. So, let's proceed the lighting. Road lighting. It is an application of road lighting systems primarily aimed at increasing visibility of roadside hazards and increasing safety by reducing glare from other light sources in the visual environment, such as street lights, such as vehicle headlights. So, good lighting can prevent crashes by serving the motorists and at the same time assisting to protect otherwise unprotected cyclists and the pedestrian. Lighting levels on roadways at night need to provide an adequate visual acuity for the driver of a vehicle or the pedestrian. This manual is intended to help the drivers to understand the basics of good roadway lighting and achieve some of its benefits. There are lighting styles. So first, standard. It may support single or multiple outreaches and luminaires. So, nakikita yun yung picture. So, yan yung mga example ng mga street light. This is the most common street light column. 2. Decorative. There is a variety of decorative lighting arrangements available for use in underground states and roadway. So, these are more stylish column and luminaire combinations and are used to improve the prestige of an area. They are generally used to category P lighting. As you can see, the design arrangements. However, they have some category V lighting applications. They can present problems with glare. So yan yung decorative. Next is post-stop. Post-stop lighting is used to provide general lighting for an area. So, for example here, na makikita mo ang post-stop is sa mga parking, cycle, or walkways. They are used for category P lighting only. So, may problema rin siya sa mga glare. May problema ang kanyang mga ano rin. Next is high mast. The high mast column is taller than the standard street lighting column and have a number of luminaires attached to head frame. So, high mast, they are used for category V and P applications. So, as you can see in the picture. Then, makikita mo rin ito sa mga parking din, sa complex intersection where central light dispersal can be achieved. So, the last one is the bulkhead. Yan. Used in a vehicular pedestrian underpasses and tunnels where it is not possible to install conventional lighting arrangement but is convenient to attach the luminaires directly to the walls. So, yan yung example sa picture. There are two types of luminaires. But first, luminaires is used for street light and designed to disperse the light along the length of the carriageway rather than into adjacent properties. So the two types of here are semi-cut-off, SCO, and screen cut-off. The semi-cut-off is the most commonly used for road lighting design to reduce the glare impact on drivers. So, the classification that describes the luminous light distribution in which the candela per 1,000 lamp. And then, the air screen cutoff is to reduce intrusive lighting, residential properties, major roads. So, for example here, makikita mo sa mga bridges, flyovers, overpasses, or sa railway crossing. So, it is to comply with certain public body requirements. They are spaced closer together than SCO lighting due to reduced lateral light dispersion. So, when in the areas where spill light, it is to be reduced to a minimum because of legislative requirements. Next one is lamps. Lamps is the basic source of light and converts electrical energy into radiation. So, some of these, it is in the narrow band of wavelengths to which our eyes respond. So, the lamps function in there are three basic ways of the lamp functions. First is heating a small wire or filament to a high temperature in a container sealed to exclude the air. For example, is the tungsten lamp or the designated GLS. 2. Passing an electric current through a gas or mixture of gases in a sealed tube or the discharge lamp. This can be at low pressure or the high pressure. The last is a special type of discharge lamp emits ultraviolet radiation which the human eye cannot see. So and then it is causes a phosphor powder to glow. For example, is the fluorescent lamp. And that's the three basic ways. So there are the example of lamp type, no? The high pressure sodium. Ito yung the most effective light source due to high efficiency. And the high lumen, maintenance, and long life. So, the low pressure sodium lamps are no longer used. However, they are still utilized in special cases. In some coastal areas where the light from standard lamps could confuse marine animals that use moonlight for nighttime navigational guidance. So, next one is the arrangement of lanterns. So, ito is yung paglagay ng mga street lights sa daan na dapat makita at hindi gaano kataas or kalayo yung gap ng isang street light sa isang street light. So, first, the straight roads. Number 1 is there are two types. One, single side arrangement of lantern. So, as you can see, no, sa isang part lang, sa right side lang siya na lagay yung mga street lights, pero dapat yung gamitin yung street lights dito is maliwanag. Then, the spacing is dapat the same siya sa ang spacing mo sa kabilang space to make sure na makita talaga yung daan. 2. Staggered arrangement of lanterns. So, itong paglagay ng street light is naka-window siya, no? Dapat yung spacing mo doon sa kabila, sa right at sa left, dapat magka-the same. Next is bends. Bends is, as you can see here, no, straight road spacing reduce at radii decrease. So, for roads with bends, it is somewhat more complicated to calculate the required illuminance. It is a good approximation. However, will be achieved if the straight road spacing is applied. Then, with lanterns, move to the outside edge of the road but progressively reduced as the radius of the bend decreases. The next is the T-junctions. So, as you can see naman, yung spacing mo is approximately 1/2. Ito. It is types of junction that important. The lighting along the main road is seen as continuous as well as providing sufficient illumination and visual guidance for traffic entering the main road. So, dapat paglagay dito is dapat makita talaga yung dapat sa gilid talaga siya ng kasi kapag magdaan ka sa main road, dapat makita yung mga sasakyan lalo na paggabi. Next is the crossroads. So, the lanterns or the street lights should be sighted on the near side beyond the junction to reveal crossing traffic. Alright. So, you can see naman, no, dapat sa center niya, dyan talaga by one at para makita yung crossing na daan for the safetyness of the driver. At least walang collision na magaganap. Next is the roundabouts. So, roundabouts is this, when you're placing the columns, you must in the center of the roundabout can give the impression that the road continues through it, unless a single column is used at its center. So, the preferred method is to place the street lights around the outside of the roundabout at spacings not greater than that used for the straight road. So, ito. Yung mga dot-dot na yan yung mga street lights. Kapag gumamit ka ng lamp sa street light, dapat yung sufficient siya para sa mga drivers or sa mga cyclists or sa mga persons na mga nagdadaan. So, ang kukunin mo is yung high pressure sodium. So, the efficacy nito is 130 watt. Then, the life hours is 12,000. Then, the sensitivity of voltage is average. Then, the color rendering, average rend. But, the purchase cost is high. Dapat yung lamp na kukunin mo is high efficacy and low energy consumption. Then, long life. Yes. Then, resistance of fluctuation in the electrical supply. Then, good color retention and low capital cost. And here's the tips. Parking. Backing into parking spaces takes some practice, but soon can become second nature. Only drivers who have parking permits or license plates for people with disabilities may stop, stand, or park in these designated spots. Lighting. This manual attempts to set out the basic elements of good road lighting for the local engineer. It explains the fundamental facts which determine lighting design and gives guidance on practical installations, maintenance, and good working practices, and to provide the safetyness of all drivers while using the roadway, especially at night. And so that's all my report. Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.